Well, I got off of work like 2 hours ago, and I just got home now. First, I went to Fry's Electronics. I went to go get a distribution block since I mounted the battery in the back of the car, and the cable's right here. So I got to run this to the battery, run the cable to the front, run a distribution block, one for the amp, one for the fuse box, and one for the starter. But then I went to my buddy's shop and I finally got what I've been waiting for. These guys are competition twin disc flywheel bolts. Okay, there's my twin disc right there, and I'm gonna go eat real quick before I come out here and decide whether I want to work on the car today or spend the day to put my fucking motor together, because I got a race in April that I'm trying to get ready for, and I finally got what I needed to put my motor together. And so yeah, let's see how my stomach is feeling after I'm done eating, and we'll decide what we're gonna do after that. So it looks like I'll be routing the power wire from the back to the front. So here we have the battery tray cut so that way it's flat, because there's a little leg that has a 12 mil bolt that goes to the frame rail. Cut that, the tray is flat. I welded 2 nuts to the board, the floorboard. And bolted the bracket down. Battery's in place. Battery hold down, tie down is down. I gotta. Well, maybe I can try to open the. I don't know. I gotta get this back seat to flip. I'm gonna run the power wire along the panel, and all the way up to right here. It's gonna stop there, about maybe a foot. This is a battery relocation kit from Submit Racing. There's a black and there's a red, but these are all left over from these cars. So I'll be using this for power. I have this from a DC Integra. I'll use that for the negative. I'll mount this in the back. That's to the battery. I got these right here, 10 gauge number 10 stud. This is going to go to the fuse box from the distribution block. This is a distribution block from Fry's Electronic that I bought. So it's going to have a 0 in, 1 in, and it's going to have 3 small coming out: starter, amp, and fuse box. Finally picked up some flex guard, split seam style. That's going to be for the fan switch I've been kind of putting off. I need to route that over there. And then some connectors and terminals that I bought that I may need, and lucky I did. So I'm going to be using one of these ring terminals for one end of the power wire. That's going to be going to this terminal here, since it is a bolt style and not a crimp style. But yeah, so I'm gonna route it now, get it before the rain pours, because it started raining randomly today. And maybe when it gets too cold, I'll start working on my motor, because you know my bolts came in right here. All right. So I'm gonna be using this red one right here. Obviously, red is for power. Go figures. I'm gonna have to snip this a little bit and get this end to fit inside this terminal, and it just so happens that this ring fits perfectly in that groove. You see? So that's gonna work out just fine. Alright, so what you guys just saw right there was I crimped it with my vise because I don't have anything strong enough to bend this fucking gauge, but I heated it up. It gets hot pretty quickly, and I fed a bunch of solder through the terminal or between the terminal and the wire, so now it's like really stuck on there. I accidentally slid right through the sliced right through the sleeve for the terminal, so Sleeping Beauty has finally woke up. So I'm just gonna be using shrink wrap left over from a while back, but this is perfect. This is a perfect size. Slide this bastard right over like so. Wiggle it around, get it over the fucking terminal. Why you give me a hard time? Don't mind, what the fuck? Alright, here we go. Please, do not give me any issues. Why? Oh, it's piercing right here. Boom. Just like that, right? Okay, you see that? Do you see that? You tell me you see that? That looking good? This shit ain't going nowhere. As far as the terminal, this is gonna sit. Where's my 12 at though? Why everything wanna go disappearing on me? What I do to you? What I do to all? Right here. I'm gonna have this flip upside down. Stick it on here like so. Or maybe I can't flip it upside down. There you have it. Positive wire on I don't know, it's like 15 foot right here. Let's go run this shit in the car. I had to go deal with that fucking gate over there. They somehow got it open and got past my fucking bolt. So I put a bolt in the nut, torqued that motherfucker down. And if I gotta get in trouble by the city, fuck it. Anyways, I ran the power wire right here through the carpet and plastic pillar thing right here. There's this clip that's just sitting there, and it fits perfectly in place, right? Except here, because he has all his amp wires and stuff. But yeah, so it goes in there around the carpet like so, loops around here. Looks like I have enough wire, and so pretty much fold it over, bend it backward. Most tabs are gone, but whatever. Like so, like so. This one right here, just bend the plastic back into place. Something like that. Carpet goes in like that, and we'll get to I've been recording kind of shitty the last couple of days, but content's better than no content, right? Can't complain about that. Now I'm gonna find all my power wires and kind of route where everything's gonna be going, and who knows, maybe I'll wire in the harness tonight as well, and give you a little preview on that. But distribution block, big power going in right here, which is this giant mother sucker. This is, I think, a 0 gauge, and then it's going to distribute into 3 smaller outputs. So the 3 output is going to be 1 right here, and this is going to be fused. I don't know where the other end went, but it's supposed to be fused. This is for his amp. This one of these two, I'm not 100% sure which one it is or which one it was, because they're the two of the same color wire. One is alternator, one is starter, but let's say this is starter. So one for amp, one for starter, and then one is going to come out of here and go to the positive side of the fuse box, and that's pretty much going to distribute the power to where it needs to go. I'm going to widen up this hole right here a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. See these two little mounting holes? I'm going to widen that enough to do to put it through a 10 mil stud here, and I'm going to have this mounted on the floor with a nut on it like so, and hoping the cover is going to clear that. Barely, but we make it work. So that's going to be mounted there, distributed 3 ways, and then that seems pretty simple to do. And then I'll wire in the other half of the harness, the chassis adapter, to the stock ECU plugs, and show you how that's done. But first, to determine which one is which, I was able to pull this back into the engine bay, and then I pulled it back while looking over there. And this is alternator. This is going to be going to the fuse box right here. This is starter, and very lucky to snip that just enough for this right there. So this don't need a ring terminal, but this one does. So this one is I'm gonna kind of tuck it in the back of the fuse box, loop around, and put this one on a ring terminal. And that's why I bought the number 10 ring terminals, to use it for that motherfucker right here. That ring terminal should be small enough to go into the fuse box. And then so you can see right here, look, I didn't loop that shit all the way. That would have been a pain in my ass to figure out without a light tester, but it's always nice to have a light tester. So grab yourself one of that motherfucker, because it kind of makes the job easier on tracing wires. So this is probably the final outcome of the power distribution block. So we got this coming from the back, battery, 0 gauge to a distribution block that splits into 3-way. One goes to the starter, one goes to the fuse box, and then you got this one as an accessory for the power wire to the amp for his speakers. And then you can see here, these two looping around, coming up onto the number 10 terminal, and it fits perfectly into the fuse box. And then that's gonna pretty much sum up the power. And honestly, if I just ground the back battery to the chassis, wire up the 7 to 9 wires that goes into here, this car can technically turn on. But I'm just gonna wait on that. I'll continue the negative and the rest of the wiring tomorrow. As you can see, you can hear it is raining, and I'm not trying to get a cold over this, so I'm gonna wrap this up and continue that tomorrow. And most importantly, do not forget the cap, because this is straight open power. If you was to short it with anything, it'll be all bad. So I'm gonna put this cap on. Tomorrow I'll put a zip tie around it so it doesn't come off. And yeah, should be golden. Fuck it. Got me a seat for the CRX, because you know, head and helmet problem with the SI sunroof. So I'm trying really hard to not sleep right now, but I've been an In-N-Out burger for so goddamn long now, and this is the first time ever I bought a 4x4. Thanks Pez for you know, eating that 6x6 in front of me. And I'm gonna eat this, catch up on YouTube with These guys, if you know them, you know them. If you don't, then follow them. Boosted Boys, and a few other channel. Haggard, Motion Auto, BS for Build, Rice for Miata, Dude in Blue, Most Films. You know, great channels. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna eat this, go into food coma, and then wake up tomorrow. Apparently it rained a lot since I've been in my room. Anyways, I think today I'm going to be working on the wagon. It's not much more that I think about it, that this car needs to be somewhat complete. And I'm going to go ahead and do the ground for the battery. Give it a good connection, maybe 2 connection, just to ensure there's a good connection with ground from the battery to the chassis. I'm going to be wiring in the the sub harness for the engine harness here to the ECU plugs, so that way I can button up under the dash here and pretty much get the AC vent and stuff installed. I'm still unsure if I'm going to be pulling the dash back out to pull out the clutch master, because I ordered the stainless line from Rywire. It's a banjo style rather than the feed that's currently on the master itself right now. So that way, if I need to flip the master on the bracket around and it interferes with the firewall, I can bang it or cut it a little bit rather than a lot to clear the 90 versus the banjo style that's gonna be in place of it. So pulling the dash is not a big issue, but I am definitely going to be buttoning up everything right now, and the car can technically turn on without the clutch system. This car is in neutral and whatever and shit. So I'm gonna get going and doing that because it's starting to get colder. I have a little bit of light left, you can see here in the sky, and yeah, let's see what we get done today. It's freaking raining. So here you got the battery mounted up in the back here, right? And negative is here. Not quite sure where I'm going to be putting it. Oh, the shit in the car. I know mine goes down here and then it goes to, I don't know if he has a spare tire in here or not, but mine goes to, yeah, he has a spare tire. Mine goes to the bolt that goes down to the little thing that holds the spare tire down. It's bolted there. So holy shit, what did I do? Anyways, I know there's a chassis bolt here somewhere that goes to like the bumper support. I can bolt one there, one to the bracket, since the bracket is grounded down and going straight down to the chassis, and then I can run another one to that fitting down there. But let's see what my options are. Not many places to put it as of right now. I'm probably going to be putting it right here. So what I got to do is sand that down to bare metal. I'm going to sand this a little bit, get the coating off, make sure that this is going to get a good connection, right? Underside. Nice and clean. And then I'm going to sand this hole as well. Can't really see the bottom side, but I'm gonna sand it anyways. Okay, so I'm probably gonna do a 12 mil nut and bolt on there. So let me grab one. Bolt and nut. I'm gonna be bolting this from underneath so that this line does not sit in the way of the cover closing for the spare tire. This goes out. To the negative, like so. This terminal is for positive, so it's a little bit bigger. Might have to put a screw or some sheet metal in it or something to tighten it down. I'm gonna go ahead and look for another bolt, another cable, or make another cable, and do this one to there's a 14 mil or 12 mil bolt here that goes to the bumper support. So I'm gonna bridge it from here to here and give it another connection. So that way I'm coverage on the ground. I have coverage on the ground. Got a nice, this is definitely not 0 gauge. It's more like a, I don't know, 6 gauge, if that even exists. 4, 2. It's like a step down from 0. So I got some ring terminals from the package I bought the other day. Fry's Electronic. I'm gonna go ahead and crimp this, heat it up a little bit, throw some solder in there to make sure that this is going to be a solid connection. Do the other end, and then I am going to go ahead and install that into the car. Definitely a solid connection. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna repeat on the other side, and this should be a good ground to go. Now it's raining. Anyways, so I popped this little cap off right here from the back panel, and that exposed a 12 millimeter bolt hole. I wonder why they had that there. I don't know, but it's definitely a perfect spot for a ground to run under. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sneak that up in there if I can. Why? So shit. Anyways, so that's definitely nice rotation. And then put this little back in. Voila. Alright, so focus. So you got the 0 gauge battery negative terminal to this guy. Then this is bridged to the chassis here, and that should be good enough. So now I'm gonna move inside and do the sub harness for the harness, clean this back in a little bit, close all this shit up, and overlook everything else and see if there's anything else that's main thing that I need to turn this car on. Hell, I might even turn it on tonight. With the terminal on the negative being so loose, because there's a positive terminal on the negative, I took a piece of sheet metal, cut out a rectangular shape right there. I don't know what gauge this is, maybe 16 gauge. It's really thin, but it's enough to kind of wrap around the terminal as a spacer or whatever you want to call it, and kind of just bend into the shape of the terminal like so, and then widen up this a little bit, get it on there nice and snugged, and then I'm going to grab a 10 mil, zap it in place. I'm putting the negative on right now. Leave the leave the positive off until I think I'm ready to you know, turn it on. So I actually getting kind of nervous, like I shouldn't be wanting to turn it on right now, but I kind of want to turn it on right now. But the other thing is the K Pro, I'm not even sure if there's even a base map on it. Chris told me he threw a K20 A2 map on it, but I'm not sure how different that is from the injectors on a K20 A2 map to a K20 Z3 map. So I don't know where's my adapter. Good old faithful 3/8 ratchet. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Make sure that this is going to be a nice, firm, tight connection. Come on. I don't remember how long I've not used a ratchet. Kind of don't like it. That is totally on there. We are golden. I got a bloody nose. Fuck it, yellow. Okay, so this right here, this is the sub harness, and this is specific between the DX and the SI, because you have this plug right here. The SI has a spare plug, or this extra plug for, like, I forgot what the function of these 3 wires are for, that stays on the passenger side. On the DX model, this wire is extended to the driver's side to the round circle plug. So this is for SI EX model. So CJ also provides a hard copy of the wiring locations and stuff that you need to splice these guys into. Right here, there's only about, like, let me see, 5 wires, and pretty much you just got to splice into the ECU side. Sorry, got to splice into the ECU plugs and wire these guys into the chassis harness side, not the ECU side, because it wouldn't read anything. So, example of this is the ECU plug. You need to snip it and wire on this side and not this side. So I'm gonna get inside the car, hopefully get some lighting for you guys to show you how this is installed, and then everything else becomes plug and play. All right. Necessities. You're gonna need yourself a razor blade, cut with conscious, because some people don't know how to use this shit. Electrical tape, wire cutters, strippers. You're gonna need a soldering iron, some solder, a lighter, a torch, whatever that will heat some shrink wrap. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm soldering the connection directly to the wire, then shrinking them shut. You can use butt terminals for easy disconnect for whatever reason. My wagon is like that. I don't know why I did like that, but it's just a lot more simpler to work with if you don't have a soldering iron or don't know how to use a soldering iron. But you can use butt terminals, not butt terminals, yeah, butt terminals or female male connection terminals. Just got to crimp them really tight so that way the wires don't break loose from the terminal itself, and then causing a wiring issue, causing you to backtrack and diagnose and all that bullshit. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and set up and start pulling these wires. All right, so diagram right here, pretty easy to read. All right, get some razor blade, cut off this electrical tape here, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself, unless you really want to gash yourself like I did right there. I was cutting like this in my last warehouse job, and swoop, these wires here will come loose. Pull this up like that. This one you can cut off. I kind of want to go Bass Pro. See that? Don't cut towards yourself, because if I slipped, that would have been my thumb. Okay, so there are a total of 5 wires. For my DX, I think there was a lot more wiring, like 7, 6 or something like that. This one has 5, so this one, same concept. If you have a DX and you got a DX sub harness, follow the instruction. Pretty much just gonna show you where the wires go, how to secure these wires, tuck them away, and yeah. So first we have loose wires, the functions, the OBD0 locations, and then the OEM wire color. Okay, so the first one is going to be the green yellow. The green yellow is the fuel pump. So we have a green yellow here. Okay, and then the beautiful part is that CJ also left the A, B, and C pin with the numbers of the corresponding wires, if that makes any sense. So we have the green yellow. Okay, I'm going to strip this about, you can do 1/2 inch or 3/4 of the wire, whatever. I'm cut a little bit of shrink, slide that in place before soldering the wire. Okay, like that. The location for this one is either the A12 or the A14. Everything's plugged, tucked away. AC duct is in place. I'm not throwing the glove box on because I'm not sure if the dash is coming back out, but ECU plugs are just going to be resting right here. Other than that, onto the engine bay for some ground. Okay, it is 9:40. I'm gonna cut this night short. I got one ground right here, nice solid Tesla ground, you know. I got one solid ground right here on the transmission. I got one here to the AC bracket, to the chassis, and then to the chassis over here. This is the original negative battery terminal. Made use of that. So wiring inside is done. As far as the ECU and all that, the K Pro is right there, and there's only a few more things to do before this thing is up and going. I need to find a smaller belt because this one is too it's tension already, but it has slack. You can see where it's hitting the other belt here. Either that, get a new belt, or I'm gonna have to space the alternator out a little bit more. You can see it right there. The only other wiring I need to do is extend the wiper motor plug into the engine bay, so that's functional again. Weld a barb again right here for this, whatever the hell this hose is. Waiting for the clutch line to come from raw wire so I can redo and reroute the master and line for the clutch and the radiator. So once the radiator is in place, the only other big job is the radiator, the exhaust, and the drive shaft. Other than that, we're nearing this project, and there you have it. Cutting this video short another night. If you guys find this video very helpful as far as wiring up your tuck harness, CJ specific, but it applies the same way if you're running a route wire or Wireworks or Wireware or something like that. It's the same concept. Hopefully this helps you understand where the wires and which side of the wires you're supposed to wire to, because some people get it confused. Give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, whether it's that car or this car.